Melt in your mouth brisket. Lion diet, carnivore, and keto approved. Hey y'all, Carnivore Granny here. Today we're making a brisket so tender, so juicy, it practically melts when you look at it. And the best part, it's 100% lion diet, carnivore, or keto friendly, because there's no sugar, no carbs, just pure, meaty goodness. Here's all you need. A big, beautiful brisket. This one is about 10.5 pounds. The first thing I'm going to do is cut this into 2 briskets. One will be lion diet and strict carnivore approved, and the other half will be keto friendly. I have some coarse salt and my crock pot for the first one. It really is a breeze to cook on lion diet. I'm going to put a liner in my crock pot because it makes cleanup so much easier. First, season generously with salt. Don't be shy. For lion diet purists, just salt is perfect. Put my brisket into my crock pot, or you can use a roasting pan. You can add just enough water or beef broth to cover the bottom, not to boil it, but just to keep it moist. But I find that since I don't cut the fat layer off, I don't need to add any extra liquid. A little more salt. Cover it tightly and put it on low. Low and slow is the magic here. Cook at 200 degrees Fahrenheit for 6 to 8 hours or until it's fork tender. If you're using a slow cooker, set it to low for the same amount of time or longer if you want to break down all of that yummy collagen. And there you have it, a brisket that will turn out rich, tender, and perfectly suited for lion diet or strict carnivore. No sugar, no carbs, just pure, satisfying deliciousness. Now let me show you how to make brisket if you're on carnivore and tolerate spices, or if you're on keto. Let's get this out of the way. I have 1 bay leaf. I'm going to kind of break it up with my fingers. Not the neatest cook, but that's okay. 1.5 teaspoons of salt. I don't necessarily use coarse salt for this because I'm going to be making a paste. One and a half teaspoons of pepper. Feel free to use white ground pepper if that's what you prefer. That has lower oxalates in it, and some people tolerate that a little easier. And now I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of chili powder and a 1/2 tablespoon of liquid smoke. Let's mix this all up into a paste. It's looking a little drier than you like. Feel free to add in a little bit more liquid smoke, and that's about what it should look like. And of course, the star of the show, fatty brisket. So I started by combining all of my ingredients to make a paste. Next, I'm going to rub the meat with the liquid smoke completely. Make sure to get it all on the sides, the top, the bottom, and let me rub the seasonings on the fat layer. Now I'm going to get my extra wide foil. I'm going to tear 2 very long strips. One going this way, one going this way. Transfer the brisket over here. Now this part of the brisket that I'm doing with seasonings is about 4 pounds of it. I cut about 6 pounds to put in the crock pot. This is about 4 pounds. I'm going to wrap this up and I'll seal the foil very tightly. Do the same thing on this side. Seal it good and tight. Don't want any of that yummy goodness to leak out. We want it to stay nice and moist. And I put it in a roasting pan, put it in the oven at about 200 degrees Fahrenheit for 8 hours. This is such a simple recipe, but I never have any leftovers. There's also a barbecue sauce that I make to go with this, but I have plenty on hand right now, so I'm not going to make it today, but I will give you the recipe, and it also calls for a 14-ounce bottle of ketchup. I use ketchup that has no added sugar in it, and to that I add half a cup of water, 2 tablespoons of liquid smoke, salt and pepper to taste, a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, or however you say that word, 3 teaspoons of dry mustard, 2 teaspoons of celery seed, 6 tablespoons of butter, and a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. You combine all of those ingredients in a saucepan, bring it to a gentle boil, stirring occasionally, get everything mixed well. Let it simmer for about 10 minutes and you're done. Then you combine it with your brisket and enjoy. So now you have a brisket recipe for everyone in the house. I don't cut the fat off of the brisket anymore. Before I was carnivore, I would cut the entire fat layer off before I sliced and served the brisket. Now I combine the fat with the meat and either shred it all up together or just leave the fat layer on the slices of brisket as I serve it, and I enjoy every last bit. Okay, let me grab a bowl. I'm going to slice a couple of pieces so you can see this out without it falling apart. Ooh, maybe not. This is about 4 pounds of brisket that I seasoned, and I cooked it at 200 degrees for 8 hours. I just want to show you how this looks. And here is the barbecue sauce that I gave you the recipe for. And there you have it, brisket for carnivores who do seasoning or keto. That's a wrap. If you really don't want to leave the fat layer on the brisket, you can also trim that fat layer off, cut it into chunks, and put it in the air fryer at 400 degrees for a few minutes, depending on the size of your chunks. And oh goodness, you will have a crispy, crunchy, fatty, yummy treat. I hope you give this recipe a try and let me know how fast it disappears. I'll see you in the next one.